Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Gopherwatch League match. I am your caster and producer, Fedora Master, joined here by Flambo Jambo, and welcome to the playoffs, everyone.
Hello, welcome.
Today we have
season.
Today we will be having the Nekos, the 8th seed, coming into the playoffs versus the Hawks, who is the number 1 seed, undefeated in the regular season. So this should be very interesting. But first, before we do anything else, let's take a look at these teams. Let's take a look first at the Hawks. And there you have it. That's the look at the Hawks. But there's not just one team in here. Let's take another quick look into these videos with the Nekos. There you go. There's a look at the Nekos. Thank you for our video production team for putting these videos together. They should be uploaded to YouTube pretty shortly after this. So if you want to check out there for your team, we have them for all the playoff teams. So you can check them out there. Anyways, so now I think we're just waiting on Sonic Croc to get into the lobby, but we should be starting in pretty quickly. First map will be Nepal.
Yeah, and so I did a little bit of research before this match here between the Hawks and the Nekos, and they did play week 2, and it was a pretty decisive victory for the Hawks. I think they had a clean sweep on all 3 maps except for King's Row, which came kind of down for a nail biter at the end there. So how do you think that the Nekos and the Hawks are both feeling coming into this one here, Fedora?
I think the Hawks are pretty confident, especially them coming in for the top seed. I think the Nekos probably they had a bit of a rough start, and I believe they've been looking to improve, so they're hoping for maybe a bit of redemption, trying to upset the top seed. But, I mean, Hawks kind of just cruised through the regular season, so they're probably not too stressed at all.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure is definitely on for the Nekos, right? Like, if you're coming in here, you're facing the number 1 seed, that's pretty scary, right? I think definitely it's gonna be. I think it comes down a lot to this very first map that we're gonna watch here. I think if the Nekos are able to tighten up, get focused, I think we could have a really close series on our game here.
Yeah, definitely, indeed. It's also gonna be interesting to see if anyone tries to do anything interesting, because the Hawks are down War right now, so they can't really play him, as he is casting the UMN fundraiser, I believe. And as for the Nekos, you just have a lot of swap arounds you can do, because you have Trey as the captain. He can play tank, he can play DPS whenever he wants. You also have seen Nord recently going over to that support role as needed. So there's a lot of interesting swaps you can see from the Nekos.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Right, with the Hawks, we've kind of seen them running down with that same roster almost every single match, and it's been working really well, right? So I think Nekos, they've been moving Trey around, they've been moving Nort around. Kath has been on all 3 roles as well. And then, of course, they have Charbotron and Emero, who they've been swapping around, and Sonic Chronic now, who has really made a name for themselves, coming in as a free agent on that off tank. It looks like we're going in, so
indeed.
There.
There we go.
We are starting on Shrine, which is my favorite Nepal map. I know there's a lot of Sanctum believers, but I for one appreciate a good Shrine gaming.
Ready for battle.
Looks like the comps both mirroring the Rhine at the start, pretty consistent to what these teams ran in the past. Probably a sim to maybe TP out, maybe swapping off after, both mirroring the cast and mirroring the support line. Don't know exactly if both of these teams stay sim. They could justify it, but both Whalefish and HVSec known pretty well for their ability to flex onto Hanzo as needed.
5, 4.
Yeah, and I think that's
3,
what,
2,
like you said, I think we'll see that pretty quick here. But I think we can expect a pretty confident mirror comp coming out. Yeah, either way. So immediately jumping into action, we have the Nekos on point first, making that space. Currently just the Rhines going at it. So we're kind of looking for these Hanzos to make that first pick. Oh, big flashbang causes Invictus to kill Trey right off the bat, and now looks like the Hawks will very quickly take this point control.
Good on. Oh, there's a little bit of a late kill onto Sickbuckle there from HVSec, but I was about to say pretty good on them for getting out pretty early, but then right as I said that kind of just happened, so that was been unfortunate.
That's the importance of that flashbang there, right? Both Rhines there trying to poke, trying to get that ult charge, and Invictus just throws up that flashbang and ends up leaving Trey out in the open.
Speaking of ult charge, now you're almost to his first shatter already, as they try and rotate around the elephant side. Both windows used
Both windows come out. And Dragon from Whalefish does pick up. We got a lot of kills going. And that goes in a huge shatter by Nutty. And it's looking like it's coming out in a Nekos sided fight.
Dragon is used, but it is eaten by the Nort logic. That Dragon kind of just thrown down into the void, and you kind of want that one back. But pretty good engage there, able to just win that off 2 ults, pretty much. And once again, Baptiste already up to 42% to his next window. Whereas
Buckle coming in huge there, coming in with 3 final blows right in a row, even with both Trey and I believe both supports shattered by Nuttier there on the side.
Indeed, and you see, High Noon is the only thing really online. Bomb coming out really quickly, but you see Whalefish
get a huge early pick by Whalefish. We'll have the speed High Noon engage, matched by Sick Buckle. We'll see.
Oh, the
shatter comes out by Trey. It's huge. A lot of ult commits by the Nekos, and it'll be an easy win. But I don't know if they should have used all 3 of their ults, because now they're coming in empty.
Yeah, you probably just. I mean, High Noon was used a little earlier. Kind of hard to get that value, but the shatter kind of just guaranteed. There's at least gonna pick up 2. I don't know if the bomb was really committed, but might have been called. Maybe just a miscall. But you do have another window coming online, with a beat to probably respond, or just the bomb from Fancy, as the Hawks look to come in here.
Hawks are looking like they're ready. They're speeding in, but I really like this. Bomb comes out by Fancy. Picks up Charbotron. The support down. Both Lucio's down for both teams, but HP finds Sick Buckle. Dragon comes out by Whalefish. Forces the Hawks apart, and then it's going to be clear up looking around for Nekos. It still could be anybody's fight.
Fancy picks up 2, though. He falls a little bit. He still has his Zap alive, but no.
Fancy and HP. And that looks like that's a close fight. Could go either way, but the Hawks do clutch it out, flip the point.
Withering being able to stay alive there, is able to heal Fancy back up after getting 2 final blows on the Nekos there.
And that was a dry fight for the Hawks. They did not use a single ult and won with a Dragon and Window committed by the Nekos there.
She's going to look to want to commit Dragons here as they try to approach. Window's also committed as they try to push up here.
Early DMAC onto Nort. The DPS line for the Nekos currently just trying to find any poke off of this high ground, with Nort being staggered out by HV on the side.
I need healing.
Right now, Neko's having to play back, wait for that D.Va to come back, because that early pick is just huge for the...
They're kind of forced in here. They kind of just want to reset where they want to push from, but they're allowing the Hawks to build up a lot of percent as they're just need to regain the resources. And there's a lot of ults to try and push them out as they try and push in here. They only have their beat if they want to try and hard engage into this.
And a massive shatter by Nutty. The shatter bomb finds 2, HV and Fancy and Invictus each finding a pick, and the shatter is just too late by Trey. Charbotron with the massive, both teams with the massive Lucio beat, but it looks like it's just going to be another fight win for the Hawks. It was looking good early for the Nekos. They had that early point control, but just that one fight was so detrimental to them, where they just got 2 ults lost and point flipped.
Ready for battle.
Indeed, but I mean, you still saw signs of hope coming from the Nekos there, as they were able to win a few team fights. There's maybe taking a bit too long to rotate out of where they got stuck in those little under areas, but they probably still could have won that if they just rotated out sooner.
Yeah, I would agree. I think a main difference that we could see there was whenever the Hawks lost a team fight, we could see them group up and get together there almost instantly. They all died as a team and got back so fast. I think staggering is right now the biggest enemy of the Nekos, and I hope that they can turn around here, going for the more pokey double shield comp against.
They gotta be careful not trying to take this brawl. They kind of want to rotate towards point so they're not in the direct fight, but Sin kind of isolates himself and his team rotates slowly behind him. Because the main thing you want to do here is this
high
brawl.
ground control is with the Hawks right now.
Yeah, but it's fine because you just want to try and keep your space as much as possible. Just try and keep kiting around. As you see them doing, they just need to kite and just keep their poke going. But they are being matched over here by Nuttier. He does fall.
Lantern comes out by the Hawks, and Sick Buckle picks off HP from the off angle. I want to see White still going.
Everyone heal up.
As the Nekos start moving on the point here. Window is dropped by Kath, matched by Witherin.
Shatter is online for Nutty, or if they want to try and commit this, it's gonna be hard to try and catch anything.
Fancy
with
gets
these
D-Max. Whalefish finding Fancy. It's Nekos currently up 2 right now. Sickbuckle commits the ult, forcing the Nekos further back into this pit. And Sin will clean up with Kath in that back room. Invictus getting spotted and pressured out by Nort there at the end.
A bit slow fight, but that's kind of what you want for double shield. You kind of just want to keep kiting, trying to stay out of the Ryan swing range as much as possible, and just slowly starting to surround them. Because if your DP gets to take these off angles around this team, I mean, it's kind of hard, but you do have the Sigma swap, so it's better pressure onto these off angles that we were just talking about.
Mongo gets dropped by Trey, and Dragon committed. Oh, HV also Dragons. The Baptiste lamp gets broken and just kills his Raz at the end. Oh, but the Hawks are turning around, and Flux forced out by Nort won't find anything. Does get HV off the end of it, but right now it's just Kath fighting on point and Sickbuckle on this off angle. But I don't know if you can do much against the 2 DP or 2 supports and 2 tanks.
Yeah, the best thing you can do there is just die on point, try and build some more ult percentage or some cap percentage. But then you just gotta be careful not to be stuck into this small area with this against this brawl comp. With Nutty, you're still having the shatter. If you can get like maybe just an off angle without them paying attention, you might be able to get a massive shatter into this comp.
Window used and matched by both teams here. We do see Lamp by Ritherin thrown out early, picked off.
Here comes the shatter. They go jumps through the shield.
Shatter. Lamp is then committed. Flux comes out. This is gonna be a big Flux. Finds both tanks and Raz. Sickbuckle still finding 2 though. Fancy just comes back, killing both tanks. Killing the Charbotron as well. HV finding the pick on Kath, and they're gonna collapse on Whalefish and Sickbuckle on this off.
Those late deaths. Whalefish does find one, but it's on the fast legs guy. And Trey comes back on the ball.
Trey comes back on the ball.
But
I don't think he's gonna able.
Yeah, just trying to see if I can maybe find something late there, but not apparently good. I mean, if you look right here, you see good ults right now. You can Valken if needed. You don't have any of the auto aim abilities or ultimates up just yet. But it looks like they're trying to take this fight.
Displacement by Sin finds HV. Nutty, you're kind of left out in front of his team. Gets picked up. Nort sees it, picks up the BAP, and they also use Visor, Sickbuckle.
They seem to try to clean up the Sig. Backline, they do get it eventually. Then they get the flip.
A team kill, but not really any staggers. I think Nekos are gonna be able to come fast. Realistically, I think Nekos kind of want that there, or the Hawks want that there, right? Because they didn't have any ults. I think they pulled out 3 from the Nekos, right? So
yeah,
they're able to make their swaps, group up, and
Trey's just gonna want to look. And there's that window. There's the learn. And Trey's just gonna want to look to build mines here as well. He does get it just off that
Lamp is
slam.
pulled out.
Nort
Finds Raz.
Nort's isolating himself on the right side though. He's gotta be a bit careful.
And ult committed by Fancy here. Will get Nort. Establishes the Sigma grind set, but then gets picked off by the DPS player still on point. And now it's up to Nutty. Oh, and it will be 1-1 on this Nepal map, going to Village.
Score.
I mean, that was just really good them by just constantly the rotations, especially on the first fight, and just able to get these picks. And also, I feel like their ult usage was quite a bit better than it was than the last round, or last point.
I would agree wholeheartedly with that statement. So now we're coming to Village, right? What do you want to see both teams come out? Do we still want to see that kind of double shield-esque poke thing that the Nekos were doing that worked for them? Or do you like Trey sticking on this ball?
I think ball is really strong here in most cases. You just got to be careful not to... You just got to be wary of their stuns, of course. But if you can just constantly just surround them and not give them anything to really run on, then it's just perfect for them. You just gotta know what their win con is.
Swap onto the Lucio to try to support Nutty on that Rhine, so fewer stuns that Trey has to worry about. As I say, he pulls Raz out ahead, but she is Lucio and can hopefully get out here.
Trey's still in here, has no fears against any of these CCs, but you do have Invictus on their high ground, just kind of forcing the people back on main, and does find no.
And does pick off Nort as you're talking about that. Sin coming in on HV here with Whalefish on the backup, picks him off, and Charbotron gets that res on Nort. So this is looking like a good fight right now for the Nekos. They're up 1.
It's gonna be
Having
careful.
to play off a little bit. Point control is in favor of the Hawks right now.
Can't really force anything too aggressively.
And Invictus does find Trey with that Cassidy flash and grab.
The hard thing with this comp is you can't really force the brawl into point. You just kind of have to poke around it. Invictus does die using his high
big
noon though.
cancel on Invictus. And Cat kind of stuck, but makes it out. Man's insane.
They have a lot of ults to use here if they start
Commits and win though. They're going in. Whalefish finds one in the back line. Sick Buckle finds Nutty. Nor finds Res. Fancy does get Whalefish, but that's just a clean win for the Nekos.
And only 2 ults invested, and they still have their 4 ults left as well.
Kath living there in that left room, or sorry, in the, I don't know what to call it, was actually huge, right? He pulled both tanks of the Hawks into that room. Did commit Lamp, but lived to then window and get 3 picks. Large ult fight committal here. Sickbuckle with the high noon finding Raz. Flux on both sides. Nuttier finds the pin on Sickbuckle. Both DPS is dead for the Nekos, as well as the Baptiste. So now we're looking at, can the Hawks take advantage of this pressure on the point, and it looks like they'll do exactly that. With Trey coming in for a little bit of last minute percentage grabs.
Lots of ults were used there by both teams. Only a support ult left on each of them, but also Invictus and Nutty are building a lot of their ult percentage from the fight as well.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the ult bank, right? It's still, I think, highly favored for the Hawks, right? I mean, Valk very strong,
early.
but Whalefish right now just being a menace for these tanks. Looks like Valk is committed here. Are they? And but HV finds Kath and Dragons after, as well as Whalefish picked off with the scatter arrows. And I think this is just gonna be a slow, painful stagger out for the Nekos.
We're just gonna want to get out, get Mega, and try and retouch, but Invictus knows that, and he has the CC just looking for him as he comes out, and he does get it off and does kill him.
Yeah.
Touch is not found. And that is map 1 going to the Hawks.
Like you said though, signs of life for the Nekos, right? I think if I were watching this and I had no idea about the Gopherwatch community whatsoever, I would not say that this was the 1 seed facing against the 8 seed, right? This is looking a lot closer than I think people have maybe guessed coming into this game. So where do you want to see the Nekos take us? What do you think is going to be their strongest map type to try to fight?
I think in the past, a lot of the times they do still go to King's Row, even though I feel like King's Row does favor the Hawks quite a bit. But being able to put Kath onto that Reinhardt and have Whalefish trade DPS is very powerful for them.
I like that as well. I think, again, so once again establishing some history here. King's Row was their closest map when facing the Hawks last time, and that was as the first match of the game for the Nekos, since they did have a bye week 1. So, I mean, again, Kath has been doing really well on the Reinhardt recently. I don't know if they're going to move them over onto that role. They are down Sonic Chronic, who has normally been their Diva player. So maybe we'll see still a Trey Nort line here, which like they did this last map. But I don't know. Trey's been playing Doom a lot on KR, which has been kind of showing up. And obviously, like you said, the Whalefish poke. But they will end up taking us to Blizzard World. So what do you think about that?
That is definitely a map that favors more so the double shield line that we saw them on the control point that they did win on Nepal there. So maybe looking to go more into that more of that double shield type style. Probably a ball comp on attack though, I would figure. Trey does like his ball character. So, but no, we do see Trey swapping onto that DPS role with Kath and Nort as their tank line.
We do see Emiro coming in. They've been playing a lot of the Ana. So maybe, like you said, maybe a ball. Maybe we're going to see some kind of double bubble look from the Nekos. But I think it's going to be a little bit tough, specifically that I think Nekos can pretty reliably get first point here. I think that they'll be able to find some way to get on point, win that fight. But I'm looking at this Invictus HV on that escort second point, and I'm a little shaking in my boots if I were the Nekos. So we'll see what happens, and I'm looking forward to this fantastic map.
Welcome to Blizzard World.
Indeed. You also gotta see
Initiating match.
what the Hawks, because the Hawks usually like to run like a probably like a Sigma Reinhardt type of comp with Invictus definitely saw on that hit scan roll either the Ashe for probably defense or the Cass on attack, but it's really up in the air right now to see if they want to mix it up at all. UBCHV
We'll
on the
see.
Torb and double shield with Invictus on the Ashe. Pocket for that as well. Whalefish going into the Echo, pocketed by Charbotron, Kath onto the ball, and a
Nord
Hog.
can't do more.
Can't do more.
Attackers.
Oh, they're going.
What?
Oh wait, they're going for the TP Widow shot.
A lovely day for field.
I believe.
You
Any
TP.
can we get a pred going right now for any believers for this Widow shot?
You TP up to here as Widow and see if you can get a shot onto anyone holding high ground. Pretty much.
So what do you think about this HV Torb placement?
Torb's
Or
really
placement?
good on this map. I don't know how much it really does against their comp if they go back to the Echo though.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
My teleport has
Defend objective
Topper
A.
comes up with the Widow.
Nothing.
Not found.
And the swap.
We have Fancy and Invictus up on this
You
high
must
ground
like
with
me.
the Mercy pocket scoped out by Kath, but he's also found by Fancy. So a little bit of poke damage coming that way. Meanwhile, and Trey's going in.
This Echo has to be really careful because this damages Ashe would do so much damage to them. You can see Kath engaging on the backline. He falls so quickly.
Yeah. Whalefish does get the turret though. And Trey is trying to bully out HV, but Invictus finding both supports. It's kind of a tough fight here for the
Put
Nekos.
me in the right
You get the
mood.
Torb, but I think it will be res though.
And shut the hell up.
Trey's kind of farming this pulse up pretty quickly, but Invictus is also doing the same with his Bob.
And yeah, Nort picked off again by Fancy. Fancy right now just kind of being a solo warrior, finding these individual picks when he's not near any of his team. And HV finds both DPS players of the Nekos, and I want to see some swaps being made.
Yeah, I mean, Tracer's really hard against Torb in the backline. You kind of just have to try and avoid the turret as much or pray that your Echo, now in this case, Hanzo can break the turret to help you go in.
Let me handle
Other than that, you can just force out E and then hope your ball can do something in the meantime. Speaking of ball, ball's engaged on the high ground, but it's all just shooting turret.
Gets the turret. Victus is getting these free pot shots on the team. Gets hooked. Finds Whalefish, but gets hooked and punished by Nort. Maybe playing a little bit too close, but surely Raz is there and will be able to maybe get a res. Big flux out by Fancy. Finds Charbotron and they'll get Nort off the back of it. And once again, they're just finding these picks on all the Hawks.
I want to look for the timing from Kath and Trey to be more synced together, but it looks like we don't have that as they do swap.
Goes through me.
And now, you know, you're coming in as a fresh squad. You have no ults, right? And the Hawks have 4, almost 5. So I really want to see them really group up, really
get the idea.
try to hold out this fight as long as they can, pull out some ults. I think that's the last chance that the Nekos really have on this map.
You're also
Unless they
swapping onto the Ashe, trying to take the mirror. They just gotta be careful not to just let this high ground just exist here.
Bob comes out by Invictus, is kind of, and a huge window as well. The Nekos are just completely split up. Whalefish kills the Bob, but Invictus kills Whalefish. Don't touch his Bob, as he's just once again going in there with the Mercy and Fancy and just picking off these Nekos in this small room. Nort falls next, and it looks like Emerald getting a little bit staggered here by Fancy and oh, the punch kills.
Yeah, it's just getting really hard for them. I think their main play is here. They want to get their front line set up on this high ground to push off Invictus and Invictus on this Ashe. That's kind of what they want to do. And Trey also swapping off the Ashe already on back onto the Tracer.
Big rock by Nort, and
Whalefish
that will
Fancy.
result in Whalefish dying.
They set the res as
And
well.
Rez gets punished by Trey. This could be it. This is a big window for Nekos. HV finds Whalefish, but Charbotron is there. Possible Rez? Rez comes out. Bongo gets dropped by Nutty, but Lamp is there, ready to go. Another Invictus Bop is in. Trey finds Witherin, and now it's just Rez. Golden Core comes out by HV, gets killed by Whalefish. Kath establishes the Risa diff, and Whalefish can't do more this fight. Trying to stagger out Fancy here. If they do, that'll be huge, but it looks like he will get up on that high ground.
Whalefish got that massive opening. The double dink onto Fancy on high ground. The arrow's just curving perfectly to go over the high ground. Yes,
And
Dragons
the
are...
Nekos are still going, but no one's on cards. They're taking this fight.
I mean, they...
Emerald going back.
Yeah, they should look to try and get some progress here, but they decide to use Flux here, trying to catch up anyone.
Flux, get Witherin, but he has the Lamp.
Lamp's loose, so now if they...
And
they
another response by Fancy, pulls up Nort. And Bongo comes out by Kath. Lamp is
All the
forced.
stuck
Trey
on the
uses the pulse,
700.
finds Witherin, that's huge. Nort finding Nutty here, but Fancy finds Sin, but now the Nekos are just making, pushing forward, the Battle Cow.
Very, very odd way to engage it, but it works out eventually. I would have expected them to see that they got Lamp out and then try and drag them off high ground there. But, I mean, that is, what they did also works.
And that pulled out all the ults by the Hawks. So that fight that used to be going in against 5 ults on the Hawks is now.
Oh no, Nort falls
but
though.
Nort gets picked off early by Witherin. And Dragon comes out by Whalefish, trying to pressure people off that high ground, but can't really be followed up on. They're down their off tank, and Fancy is kind of bullying Kath right now in that side room. HV picking Whalefish with
We're
that.
trying to try and get out here. All these late kills.
And it looks like these supports are going to be a little bit of ult regen for Nutty here. And, you know, we've been seeing all these team fights, and they end up going in the Nekos direction, right? But the problem is when they start losing a team fight, I think they just keep overcommitting, and it gets staggers out so terribly. I want to see them just reset, regroup, and just...
Oh, Sin with open pick.
Big pick by Sin on Raz, though. Fancy forced to Flux to counter it, as well as Window coming up by Witherin. We'll find Nort and Whalefish with that Flux, but Sin gets Invictus, as well as the big stick, forces out Immo Field by Witherin. But once again, these late picks going in the favor of the Hawks. As well as the last cleanup ults here by the Hawks try to close out this game. It looks like they might. But that was a great second looking by the Nekos there after a really tough first early attack, right? So the fact they got over 100 meters, pretty impressive, and we'll see what
They
they
found their groove eventually. It just took them a little while to find it off, kind of off the back of Whalefish getting that opening pick on Fancy, and then him and Trey able to cancel res, so actually makes the pick mean something.
Yeah.
But then they kind of continued their momentum, then lost it afterwards. So unfortunate for that. But maybe they can see something pretty big on defense though. Also, don't forget to use your channel points to contribute to the Booney cosplay stream too.
Oh, it's so true. You mean Hall of Famer candidate? Vote for Booney.
Vote
Hall of
Booney,
Fame,
smile.
Gopherwatch League Hall of Famer.
Yep. Oh yeah. Anyway, so you do see pretty much a mirror comp, except for Trey saying he can't do more, staying on the Tracer.
So, I think in that Sigma Orisa mirror, right, we were seeing, again, in the team fights, really good things from the Nekos. Those early picks by Whalefish definitely, like you said, coming in the clutch. I think it's going to be kind of up to Invictus to, you know, first of all, dodge the Tracer, because Trey really wants to get in that backline and kind of punish him. But get also match those opening picks. Oh, and you know, as I say it,
Oh my.
he picks Trey off right in the bat.
Sweet. Awesome.
And we do see a little bit of a different approach by the Nekos here. They're all opting for that high ground.
Oh, that's a really big pull. Is able to stay up though. Cat also falls low. And Invictus just has the high ground. He's just so free now.
Huge pulls by Nyaauru. As the Nekos are slowly just getting surrounded here by the Hawks. Invictus finding another headshot on the Whalefish. HB getting Charbotron and the support and the tank here. As Trey now back, but kind of forced into a 1v6 situation as Tracer, which normally does not favor the Tracer.
That is a very fast gap for the Hawks as they move on to second point, and you do see the Nekos trying to meet them on high ground. But Nadia's already there, and you do see Kath also swapping to the monkey. Interesting choice.
I mean, right, yeah, I can kind of understand the monkey, right? Because they have 2 long-range snipers, a Mercy and a Bat, right? They're not running the Brig, which, you know, because they want that Mercy for Invictus. Whalefish does find Nutty, but he gets kind of punished for his greed there by Fancy. But the res by Charbotron is available, so a little bit of a better fight. Well, but the Bob comes out from Invictus, and as well as Flux by Fancy. They're full committing. HV finding 2 right off the bat. Lamp forced, but now it's 4v6 here. As the Hawks not overextending, but they're able to just push forward up on this high ground and force the Nekos into to give up that space that they were trying so hard to hold.
Yeah, but you do see them still trying to recontest it. It's just Fancy really on this high ground that they can try and push them off.
Kath and Trey both in the back line right now, kind of trying to get these picks. Lamp forced with the Flux from North, but HV finds Charbotron once again early. Trey does find Witherin, so that's a lot of healing off the table from the Nekos, but Dragons come in, and Invictus finds Trey, as well as the Bat being rezzed. Definitely the Dragon answer by Whalefish finds HV, but Fancy is just able to kill him, and all these ults are coming out from the Hawks, and I think that is it.
Victory.
Definitely a pretty decisive win there, I think, by the Hawks.
I mean, once again, you still have the moments of greatness coming in from the Nekos, though. It's just the consistency of the Hawks able to just, you know, sustain a lot longer and just play more consistent throughout this series so far.
So where do you think that the Nekos are going to want to take the Hawks to?
I think they want to look for something that can possibly negate one of the main issues that they have, which I feel like the easiest one to think about is the easiest one to see is like Invictus on the Ashe, right? It's just a lot of damage coming out. So map, they go Dorado. Ooh, I know
First
what they're
time
doing.
Dorado's
No,
in
I know
chat.
what they're doing. They're doing the Dorado special. They are hard running Reinhardt.
Oh, with the Lucio around the back?
The
to
Dorado
Hydra?
special.
Alright, I'm looking forward to it. I want to see
They are
this.
going to.
I think,
They're going to push them off high ground by force.
you know, honestly, I think that answers a few of those concerns, right? You can't let Invictus be up there and get that free poke, right? Granted, Nutty Reinhardt is very good, okay? I don't think anyone can doubt his ability. But Fancy is going to have a little bit less value if he opts to stay on the Sigma, right? You run over the Sigma, and the Sigma can't do anything. Like, he can, but it's going to be a little bit tough. So I'm kind of liking this by the Nekos. Of course, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this is the first time Dorado has been played this season by any team.
Good.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I hope I get to see some more gaming, but I don't think he will be coming in on this map, unfortunately.
Unlucky.
Oh, yes!
Yo, wait, actually, yo, big.
Huge. Are they going to match the Lucio Rhine? That's the question.
On Dorado? No. They
On Dorado.
I don't think they're gonna run Reinhardt. That's such a throw.
But it would be great content. What a way to kick off the playout.
Traveling to the right.
Lag.
Initiating
Let's see how this. Oh, actual lag. Unlucky. Oh no. Oh no. The last time we had one of these happen, we had
Oh.
massive glitches and people were trying to get back in. No, not again. Oh, please just be the lobby.
It's okay. It's okay. We just need to manifest Trey to be able to come back perfectly natural. You know, worst case scenario, you have War play for the Nekos, put him on the Reinhardt. I want to see it.
No. Just put me in. Easy.
True. Hey, I'm on call. You know, the unfortunate Kittens not winning a game has allowed me to now be a free agent. So, you know, Trey, if you need someone, I'm here.
I think also as we start in, we might try and do a bit of comms check. So let me see in chat which team do you want us to go into the comms with for this first fight?
I mean, let's see which one. Who's defending right now?
Defending are the Hawks.
The Hawks are defending. Okay, we need to be in the. We need to be up in
It's
the.
2 for the Nekos, 1 for the Hawks.
Nekos, yeah, and the Nekos. I would vote for Nekos because the tax, you know.
Jamie has changed her vote. Any other votes? Any other votes? Yo, War, also stop stream sniping. You're in a match. No leaks.
I mean, he really could see those great team comps set up
Yeah, what the heck, man?
currently.
No way. I expect integrity from a Fortnite player.
You know, I was told the other day. It unlocked a core memory of me from the start of the season. I don't know. Maybe I'm leaking this, and I'm sorry, War, if
No
you didn't want
way.
this shared. But I did hear at the start of the season, War's plan was become the villain of the Overwatch League.
Yeah,
And I think
he ain't
that
doing
you
that
really
way well.
failed at that.
Yeah, he's doing a really
You
bad
are really,
job at that.
really
Holy
bad
smokes.
at being a villain.
Holy smokes. Anyways, as soon as the rounds start, I'm gonna click the Hawks voice button, so I'm gonna disappear.
Make sure they know no DMCA.
Oh no.
3,
Just blame Royal if we get DMC'd. Anyways, let's go.
attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
They're
Close
on
left.
weapon.
They're going.
Taking around.
Oh, that missed? They're not even
you hit
pushing
this.
cart. They're not even pushing cart, but
No,
we're gonna
no.
back. We're gonna back.
If we can solve this, that's big. We can
Uh,
also.
okay. If they
They're on
push, we
Echo,
can back
Monkey.
them.
There it is.
Monkey diving.
Yeah. Oh.
No!
I'm dead.
2-2.
Flashbang! Back,
Fastball.
back,
Wait, monkey.
We're down 3. We're down with Swords.
Kill the monkey, kill the monkey. Okay, kill the
3-3.
creep, kill the creep.
Green top right. Green top right. Hana,
Ana's main, Ana's
Ana's
main.
low.
Already.
Alright.
Fuck
Ana's
it, fuck
rocks.
it,
Ana's
support.
Back up a bit.
can't-
We're on our ways back.
You have no supports. You need to back.
I got Ana.
Huge.
All right. Those are some interesting comms coming in there. They calm their rotation pretty well. You have very good confident comms coming in from their team. But as we see this start, I'm gonna actually go through the Nekos now.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Let's look for speed in. I'm gonna go backline in 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Walking.
I'm speeding.
My
shield's dead.
I might be dead to dynamite, yeah.
I got Sig just sitting here, main of me.
Yeah, Sig is a long cart, Sig is a long cart.
Sick one. I can't. Shoot.
Unfortunate that Ansi coming in from, I believe it was Withering, kind of negated that entire fight. So a bit unfortunate for them, and you do see a few swaps coming in Whalefish onto that Hanzo now. Kath dies late to a Hell Hog.
Last pick by Fancy onto Cat is a little tough to see.
And Primal committed as well. Just trying to stay alive in this fight. Oh, wait.
And Fancy is in stun jail.
Fancy cut, and the Reinhardt's just pushing.
It's like you said, we have that Reinhardt coming up here. I like it. I am a big fan of the Reinhardt character.
Very quirky lad.
As we see Trey going in on the monkey, trying to get these picks onto HV and Invictus.
You also see Fancy swap up to the ball here, trying to just get back early, and you see the Nano Monkey engage.
Nano committed, but Bob also answered. Ooh, but they get a pick on Wither. I think he got Nano canceled.
No way.
No, it does go through onto Invictus. Big shatter. It's just chaos right now. Does look like the kills are going in favor of the Nekos. They are finding Invictus the most of the damage, but Trey get picked up by Fancy, and HV is not being looked at.
The bigger hammer.
And the cleanup kills by Sick Buckle and
Ooh,
North
they
will result in
they do back.
cap
I don't
here.
think they should have backed there.
Has reached the checkpoint.
I mean, I don't know. It's really
I don't know.
close, but they almost had it.
I think it would make sense, right? Kath just got back.
All right, now this is where this comp gets interesting because they don't have Shatter, but if they do, I know exactly what they do, and Nort's still doing it. Nort has no fear. He knows. If they go for this, I'm gonna have to go back into Nekos chat, by the way. So I'm getting ready.
Okay, all right.
All right, he's going for it. I'm moving. Never mind. Whalefish is dead.
Fancy
Never mind. I'm gonna
does
wait.
Find Whalefish
going.
with the hook.
Okay. Wait, Cat, can you heal me?
Items here.
What?
Hog.
Switching to heals.
That's fine.
Okay, try to focus the turret.
Hashtag instead of.
All right, that was just a really unfortunate timing. I'm back. Unlucky.
Oh, unlucky. I was gonna ask if we could start our new hashtag instead of hashtag Booney for Hall of Fame. I think we should do hashtag Hammers out for Booney. I feel like
Out
that's
for Booney, and we do this pin coming in from the high guard. Catches the
oh, it's
Mercy.
huge! But Invictus can't do more. Finds 2 kills, and Bob is out contesting the payload. Fancy up on top, being a menace with Nort, and does get the pick. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Well,
Oh, wait,
Whalefish is fine, but he might get killed by Hog here if he does not. Okay, that's just okay.
Yeah. All right. Fancy does his little dance.
He does
Gets
a
the
little
pick.
boogie woogie. And Sin has decided that he cannot do more, swaps to Hog.
They are
Once again.
everyone on the Nekos now deciding to all support on that high ground, which honestly I like it a little bit better.
Be careful.
Splitfish was nice, but I think when you're playing against the likes of
Here he comes again. They're looking for it.
the plant strat,
They backed
Sleep
up so
forced out by
quickly. though.
Withering, and the it's huge.
The Flux is also huge in response.
Nuttier does have the flux, but it's answered by Charbotron. Huge beat. Finds everyone it needed to, but no one's on the cart.
Save for Gore.
Whalefish turning around, going for it. Hopefully gets them. Nort finds that pick on Nuttier. I want to see them just sit up here, try to get this, but the Ward with the massive res. Keeping Nuttier in the
They're just
fight.
stuffing them here, but they gotta be careful on Invictus. Invictus does have Bob for touch. Do you see Sin trying to pressure him out, but he is forced off. Trying to get Bob here for
Sleep's
touch.
coming out. Nutty and Nort both taking some naps.
Oh.
The nano pin, but HV behind on the Hanzo, looking at him, maybe getting a few picks with Nort finding 2 and Whalefish finding Invictus. It's looking good for the Nekos, but no one's looking at HV except Kath.
Mercy's not going for touch, so it looks like they just hit the cap. And Whalefish looks trying to see if he can catch Invictus in HV, and he does. Oh, but that's still a Hog on point. What the Hog doing? Wait,
Oh,
what's
big
the
shatter.
Shatter doing? Wait.
Oh, but he dies mid-pin. That's so unfortunate. Hey, deserved. He tried to pin War.
What? Anyways, you still have Bob online here. It's pretty good progress on this map, considering you're running Reinhardt on Dorado.
Like I said, I'm a believer in the Whalefish, huge pick on Invictus,
Sonic
and the
area.
res get cancelled.
Once again, you have literally playing off-tank Reinhardt, just trying to secure these off angles as a Reinhardt, but he's meeting a hog.
And it's working.
He has whole hog.
Oh, and the pin.
Oh no!
And Fancy is just in
Wait,
jail.
no.
Oh, but then he gets a nano and a huge anti by Wither in there.
But just save.
Nekos just have to drop back. Witherin did so much that fight. I just want to point that out. Another massive anti. Like, yeah, there were some great mechanics there by HV and Fancy, but Witherin, 2 massive anti-nades there on the tank line of the Nekos, as well as kept Fancy alive when Fancy was surrounded by 5 of their 6 players. Just absolutely insane Ana mechanics.
I think the plan here is you want to try and secure this high ground because they don't really have their, they don't have whole hogs, so Reinhardt's safe to try and push that to some extent, and you want to just try and force out Sigma Shield and just Nano Visor. But once again, you still have this dragon here that can just throw down this hallway, and here it comes.
Oh, and there it is.
And Nort's just isolated inside of it.
Get Nort picked. Whalefish on this off angle. We'll see if he can make anything of it, but right now the Nekos are kind of forced to play on the back foot.
So this Nano Visor opportunity.
Both committed by the Hogs.
Oh, big
sleep by Kath on a Fancy, but Bob and Flux comes out. We'll find Charbotron and Trey. Nano on Nort as well as the Visor, but there's not much they can do. This last little bit of card progress is, I think, what they're just gonna have to try to fight for. And honestly, again, considering they're playing the Reinhardt, a little bit of the off-meta character, but arguably the best one in the game. The Nekos do really well on attack. Obviously, that third point normally pretty difficult to get all the way through on Dorado especially, but 57 meters, I'd like that. Their win condition is set, and they looked good on that double shield look from Nepal. So
also, the other thing to keep in mind is that I believe this might just be a double shield battle. Yeah. Fancy might go on this hog and go for some flanks, but it should be pretty predictable as to what they need to do for the win con as the Nekos here. But plot twist, they run dive. I don't think I've seen much dive from the Hawks.
Yeah, and HV Genji. You know what? I'm looking for
Invictus, I was gonna say Invictus Tracer, but he baited me.
And I mean, I just want to point out the stats right now between the 2 DPS lines, because I mean, the picks are there for the team that it starts with an N, the Nekos. The picks have been there, right? They've been getting those picks, and they've been having those good team fights. But just look at the damage.
I would also like to say that their DPS both have gold and silver objective time, most likely.
Yeah, that is also true. That is also true.
So you can't really blame them all too much when they're the characters who are forced on cart with how their Reinhardt wants to play this. But you do see once again, double bubble, which is a classic.
Big anti again by Witherin onto Trey, forced to back off. We're falling really low, feeling the pressure, and gets demacked on that high ground. The Witherin picked by Sick Buckle there. That's kind of a rough thing for the Hawks.
Oh,
but
what a clean kill.
Or does get the res.
Oh no.
But there's the Kath and Nort both being found by the DPS, and Nuttier is in. Big dynamite by Invictus will cause HG to get those pin kills on Charbotron and Trey, and Sick Buckle there in the back line. Oh, and the late pick on Whalefish. Is this contestable?
Not very well, I wouldn't say. Maybe you can get a light touch and Monkey jump in. You do have Nano Monkey, so if you do that, yeah, there they go, but just slept.
All the bodies slept. Visor committed as well as Nano by Sick Buckle. Whalefish finding Fancy. Witherin goes down, but Charbotron, Sick Buckle, and Whalefish all killed with 3, and Kath all killed by Invictus in 4 shots.
What a character. Look at him go. Oh, he dies to the monkey, though.
Dies to Trey, but HV says, nope, that's my number one
Lots
pick.
of stuff committed by both teams, but you know what? You know what the Hawks have? They have they have Primal Blade. Who cares about Nano Blade when you have Primal Blade?
No, I think you're thinking of Valkyrie Blade.
No, I'm thinking of Primal Blade.
I'm thinking
Nano's
of
a
I'm
monkey.
thinking of War Valking and finding 3 in the backline. That's what I want to see today.
Could be
I
interesting.
believe.
But Whalefish has to be looking for a flank pulse possibly here, as Sin's
When
taking a lot of
Invictus
damage
caught
already.
out, but oh, he just chunks down Trey. And then what looks so good for the Nekos on that engage on Invictus, it's just gets shut
Oh, the
down
sleep
so
though.
fast. Does sleep nuttier. Oh, Primal force out early. Charbotron falls,
Another sleep.
and the Hawks up 5 ults. HV finding Nort, but Sin does find Trey finds War and Withering.
Oh, the Bob though.
Bob committed by Invictus. Yeah, that'll.
Fancy's just
Literally
pushing
take that.
cart with zero energy. He's mad chillin'.
That looks like me when I'm playing Zarya.
Double bubble.
Trey will contest for a little bit. I want to see the Nekos going hard here, right? You know that they have bad spawns, and they do. They do exactly that. Whalefish and Sickbug go and find Fancy and Nutty. Hopefully they'll be able to prolong this fight a little bit longer.
I mean, once again, you still have a lot of ults online for the Hawks or your re-engage here, but good ults being built up as well. Kath also swapping over to that Moira. Gonna be hard to get some healing onto Sin, and yeah, most of his team, because his team kind of wants to play a bit split, but his survivability is now very high.
We do see Trey in the backline here, trying to finds War, trying to get this pick on Invictus.
Ooh, they should get it.
As well as and the Whalefish and them do find it. Sickbug goes well finding Nutty, who's in the backline of the Nekos, and now the Nekos are slowly pushing their way forward, trying to find these last picks. Fancy knocked up in the air and getting killed. I'm really liking this this dive look from the Nekos. Whalefish is there to
Dive
take
Moira.
advantage of Sin. And Moira.
Moira dive.
plus Moira.
Fancy does get res, but he has zero energy, so it does not really matter, and they should still be looking for this Nano Blade, but it's kind of hard when they play this split. This card trying to look to get onto their cast there. The character is probably the easiest to kill this Blade. Looking to kill Nord here, but he commits his bomb with another slam.
Bomb committed.
Finds three.
Oh, and it finds 3. What a huge combo. Oh, okay. Nadir takes a drink.
No! I mean, there's sand down there, but he still sunk through it.
It's moon sand.
Moon.
You ever play with moon sand as a kid?
I don't. I sounds familiar, but I don't remember. Once again, these fights are going by so quickly that the Hawks have never gone into a place where they want to defend.
And
just
now
wanna engage, I should
the Nekos build up all those ults that they were lacking. I don't know. I'm a Nekos believer right now. Bombs come out by Trey on cart.
Here's a stick.
Oh, but a huge anti again. But the pulse on HV does get the pick. That Nano Blade is no longer a win condition for this fight. They also find Nuttier, so the Nano on Nuttier won't even be a win condition on the fight, as well as the Ana who would even provide it. Fancy
Okay.
has a lot of energy, trying to look to live, but
They just
We'll
want
see if
to
he can
use.
get out.
They just want to use one of these ults. The issue with it, they did use both mines and pulse, and the pulse can build pretty quickly, but they're only 35% to their next Diva bomb, so it's gonna be hard because they're just gonna have 6 ult at one point, and you're just slowly whittling down your own. Trey's gonna look for another engage onto this Ashe. Does get the boop, but the coach gets back like off.
sleep. The Coalescence coming up, and there's the Nano Blade.
Oh,
They
but
do find Wither and Invictus, and it's huge. Cath cut, Charbotron cut. Both supports now for the Nekos is dead,
But the
it's
Pocket Ashe
also
is
no
killed.
supports against no supports. Bob was also committed there at the end of the fight by Invictus on the left side. So Primal also comes up from Nuttier. That's almost all of the ults. They only have Valk left from War, but. And the Nekos are coming back. They're now here, able to contest on this payload. HV getting chunked down by Cath and the Whalefish as Nuttier dies in bank to Nord.
The bomb for remake, I would guess.
Yep. Yeah.
Valk is also committed.
Valk committed, but that's the only ult they have.
They can touch with it if they need be. Fancy also coming back on the ball.
Fancy on the ball. Here to touch it back.
This ball's so low
Cath
with this.
spots him. Trey slept. Could be picked with a pin maybe by Nutty. He had the bombs, finds Withering, and that's tough. That's both supports cut for the Hawks, as well as their the Reinhardt
There's
main
no
tank.
way the map they win and they played Ryan on Dorado, right?
Of course there is. I'm telling you.
Yo, Ryan's broken. Yo, nerf Reinhardt. What the heck? That character's
True, that
busted.
character's so good, man.
Character's busted, man.
I think they should just remove Ryan from the game.
Dorado strat never fails. This is so true. I've never seen it fail. Who cares about the sample size when it never fails?
We got some big picks here from Invictus, just showing his insane gamer skills there with that 20 capped number. All right, what are you thinking? The full reverse sweep?
I'm
Nekos
so ready just to
superiority?
watch him run down Ryan on every single map now.
So we're okay. So we're gonna probably be on a hybrid map, right? Are they just gonna take us to Nimbani? You think?
I don't think Rush favors. I mean, Dive favors the Hawks. I really don't think it is. I think they just go
Don't
KR.
think so.
They just go KR because that's where they get favored, I believe. Because they can just have Nuttier on the
Sonic
Ryan
Chronic
character.
is now here, by the way.
This is
so-
true, but I still think you don't take the Nekos to a dive map because you see how Trey and Whalefish connect on their
That's true.
ball
That's
and Tracer,
true.
right? Kind of just tearing them apart. So I think that's their best bet is to just
But
try
we
and-
also saw the Ryan from the Nekos come out pretty clutch. Granted, I don't think it's gonna be.
I mean, they played Ryan on a
on the
dive
line.
map. That's not playing Ryan. That's not playing Ryan. That
It's a.
that is
you know,
that is the equivalent of playing horse with ball, and the horse is the off tank. Horse just plays like a budget diva. Like it's not the same. You got the veto.
Where else could they take him? Hollywood.
Once again, a map that favors dive. I think their best bet for the Hawks is either a double shield favorite map or a rush favorite map.
I don't know. I mean, they did win KR last time, right? So again, maybe they're thinking about that. Maybe they want to do it. I don't know though. I don't like. I feel like the Hawks want to really take advantage of their long sight lines, and KR.
KR doesn't have the
Kinda.
sightlines, but you still have Invictus able to just play
Cassidy.
Cass, yeah.
So it looks like we will be going to KR.
Scrims row. Yeah,
We'll see.
pretty easy to predict. Just saying.
Yeah. We do see Raz coming back in for Roar. But the rest of the comp pretty much staying the same here for the Hawks. Obviously, again, been pretty dominant, not only in this series, but in every series. So, we'll see. We'll see what they come out with. And so it's kind of looking here to see whether Sonic Chronic comes in for the Nekos, which he will. So it looks like we're gonna see the Sonic Chronic Diva as well as the Kath Rhine. I'm looking for this Trey Doomfist. It's kind of crazy.
Could be interesting. I don't know if they like want to run with that. They might go with a May for Trey.
And we
But
see
I don't know.
Emiro Charbotron with Nort and Sickbuckle both benched this game. That's an interesting, because didn't you say that Nort was normally playing on that support lineup?
He has in the past, like usually when they want the Brig, he would be slotted in. In a few cases, he's played their flex support, I think, but I think that was when Emery was gone.
I see. Again, Emeru very good at the game. I will say, as well as Charbotron, of course, being that consistent on that Lucio and Mercy is always a treat. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm really I'm looking at Withering Boy this map. Again, his Ana was great last game. They may have lost, but his Baptiste has also just been, I think, very not necessarily reliant, but just very well known, right? And I feel like Withering doesn't get a lot of credit, right? Because I mean, obviously, you look at the Hawks lineup, and it's just insane. They're all a bunch of just extreme gamers. But someone needs to keep all of those extreme gamers alive, and I think Withering has definitely showed up this season and is
Perhaps
a
a
big
match
part of
MVP candidate.
but I you know I maybe I spoiled it a little bit of who I'm already considering, but you know just shout it out there, just for a hashtag for your consideration, if you will. I have some
Hashtag
money
food for thought.
in some Withering stocks here, so.
You know, my question is, with Sent being in the lobby, why isn't Sent in the cast with us? Why is Sent not casting?
Because Sent, when he watches in the lobby, Sent likes to just lean back, relax, and yeah, do some Centurion Ronin things. He's.
I think I'm gonna make him cast.
Plus, I don't know if I don't know if we
Watching
want to do that.
CS
You know,
on
Sent,
stream.
Sent very not PMA. Okay,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
he's,
I mean,
that guy. I would be scared that he would, you know, demonetize us.
There's a reason why Sent is one of the only players from the trivia, remember, that didn't get the PMA award.
That didn't get the PMA Peter award. Yeah.
There's a reason for that.
That guy, you know.
It's because he doesn't join the cast. No. Yeah, I was gonna say Fruito's numbers, but nah, Fruito's would have 40 kills with that. Fruito's is a gamer.
Fruito's is a gamer. I always appreciate playing some games with Mr. Fruitles. He's a Canadian, correct?
Frutal, yeah, but he's like a Western Canadian, right? So he's like not French at all.
So it's a good Canadian.
Yeah, the good type, the good type.
I see. All right, so let's see. I guess I should have been paying attention as to what's going on.
Trouble lagging out in Discord, so that's what's happening.
I see.
See, what can we do in the meantime? Let me check something.
Let's discuss hashtag hammer out for Booney. Hammer's out for Booney. Okay. I want to see exclusive Ryan and Torb gaming for the next week or however long the votes are out.
All right.
We're supporting hashtag hammers out for Booney for Hall of Fame. Gopherwatch League Hall of Fame. Fancy is gonna make me have a stroke trying to read that. I'm just gonna say. But it looks like we're ready. Maybe.
I don't know why. I saw QoS and I just thought quiz no subs, and I instantly thought of, you know that Sponge Monkey commercial? It's like, we got the subs!
Yes, I know exactly.
We got the subs! The quiz no subs! You know?
I do know exactly what you're talking about.
Look up, for anyone who does not know, look up Sponge Monkey's Quiz No Subs. It's an actual commercial aired on television. We like the subs. Do not look it up, says Rusty Good, but not look it up. Please do. Oh
please,
my goodness,
please.
they are sim TPing to statue.
Oh, you love to see it.
Oh my goodness, they are literally stealing the strats. There's no way. They got the Sigma and everything.
I can't believe it. No way.
They got the sim.
Okay.
The sim TP to statue.
I'm not gonna be able to talk.
Sim TP. All right, let's watch this. Let's watch this.
Oh my.
The pirate ship skin as well. Let's go.
Ooh,
They are so not
if they
ready.
spot out Nuttier, it was kind of playing away.
They're waiting, and now they just go.
Oh,
They got the 6 shield, and
Captain.
what do they do? What do they do?
And they're going.
How do you stop this?
Spots out by Fancy, and Fancy's out.
Fancy uses boosters. They should
not
really
really able to
claps
get
on,
the-
on Fancy.
Picks, but right now Fancy playing away from the teams. They're getting a lot of pressure. Oh, what a pick!
No.
Lamp is forced out by Witherin here. Finds Nuttier. Nuttier cut. Right now, Nekos just trying to get these last second picks here, trying to get maybe a few more people.
Trey's
to
still kind
send
of
this bomb.
beamed, but I don't know if he can really catch anything here. He falls very low, and he does die. Just pretty much build window.
Again, faster respawns though here. Whalefish finds HV. And Kath has the shatter for when they get there, so
Indeed. And also
maybe
Simul to engage
Nuttier
as well.
not really expecting it yet, but I don't know. I think Nuttier's very good at the video game. He probably knows.
It's Catherine's looking to try and use this as early as possible. He does the turn! No way! Gets the pin out
Lamp
of left
forced
as
out,
well.
but they get pin out of the way. Nuttier falls. Window was committed, but it's they're gonna die. HV finds Trey with that headshot, and Dragon's onto point. Invictus falls to Emero.
There's a Fancy Diva
Lamp
behind them.
comes out by Witherin on the by Emero on the point. Fancy right now being the sole contester gets Team Mech, but he has bomb. And he lives. He gets the thing, and Raz lives as well. They're in the lamp by Witherin. Huge lamp, and a shatter comes out from Kath again. That fight.
Oh, that dragon. is in the
Whalefish
perfect
drag
spot.
finds 2 as Fancy finds Sonic Chronic, but the map is flipped.
Stop the payload.
What a huge game. 2 shatters by Kath that fight. A bomb by Sonic Chronic. A Whalefish Dragon. Trey walled, and
Doomfist.
we do see the Doomfist.
He can't do
A
more.
huge lamp by Witherin kept Nuttier, Fancy, and Raz all alive at once. Emero has window for the next fight. But the Hawks just have Shatter. Well, they will have Beat as well. But they have Shatter,
They're
Deadeye,
gonna
and
wanna probably window this
Beat
early.
against the window.
Try
Yeah.
and get some extra space. The cart is pretty pushed up as well. Doomfist punch in. He can't do more.
Invictus presses the Q button. Doesn't find anything, but they do break the shield, so Nuttier can just get a big slam. Finds the Emero and Sonic Chronic. Cav looking, gets flashbangs. Sin in the backline does find HV and forces out the beat by Raz, as they will now slowly come back, push back against the Nekos. Sonic Chronic and Trey
Look at
trying
that.
to find a pick maybe, but
What did that punch hit? Wait, what? I have questions.
both support ults up now for the Nekos. Window up for Witherin as well as Diva Bomb.
They're trying to rotate this
Fancy.
right side here, trying to get a, maybe surprise them a bit. They still have their beat. They still have their.
They get spotted by
Window.
Nutty.
What we were going for. Let them up.
Window committed, both sides putting in the window. Diva Bomb comes through by Fancy. Finds Charbotron, and Kath dies to Invictus there through the window. Big punch onto Raz by Trey as they'll go in. Meteor Strike down, they find Nuttier. Lands on top of Wither and picks him. Fancy in trouble. And gets demacked. Right now is the Cassidy trying to find
Oh, they
Sonic
might. They should be able
Chronic.
to chase him here. Trey's the only one chasing him.
They're
Gotta-
looking for it.
gotta get
He's
his team.
kind of stuck,
Never
and
mind.
Trey
Doesn't
does get the late pick on Invictus. Cart's steadily moving more. I want to see the
Look at
Nekos
these-
push
look at
a
these
little bit
ults.
forward here. They have so many ults. I want to see them hold up in that front corner. They have 6 there.
They can just maybe just try and drag it this early if they really want to, or they just try and hope they don't touch. But Fancy does get the touch.
Shatter is blocked by Nuttier. As Trey goes in, assassinates Raz. Dragons in by HV as well as hiding
that
from
bomb.
Invictus. Bomb goes in. Ooh, Sonic Chronic. Someone called Jumbled.
But the Diva's demerged, so there's not much follow up. They just gotta make sure they kill this Ryan and stay alive. They have the lamp there for them as well, and they should predict this Diva with
Another
no more.
clean
kills.
team fight for the Nekos.
I would not call that clean. That
Not
fight,
really clean.
That fight did not need to happen. I feel like if they dragged that off earlier, or just try and just use anything to zone them off, other than the shatter into a Rhine shield, that might just go a lot better for them.
Yeah, there were a lot of ults committed, so look in here. But
Fancy
no
tries to
ults
chase
on the
up
side of
with
the Hawks.
Doomfist.
Big punch onto Nuttier. Oh, pin just missed by Kath. A Meteor Strike coming down into the back line. Lands on HV and Invictus, but neither of them dies thanks to a lamp by Witherin. Bomb comes through by Fancy. No shield. Oh, a shield comes back just in time, but Emero does fall as well as Kath by HV. Punch goes in, finds Witherin, but he dies. Sin dies just as fast by HV, not letting him get out, and Raz finds Sonic Chronic for a late kill.
Tries to push him
Hawks
out.
trying to collapse, but I think the whalefish gets out here.
Indeed. I mean, still good ult bank. You have both supports ult once again and a rally. Also, keep in mind the brig swap to try and deal with this Doomfist a little bit more. Not always the most consistent counter. You kind of just gotta time it kind of perfectly. But you just gotta be careful. This window is committed to try and push through this.
But HV gets a big pick on Charbotron. Dragon comes out by Whalefish. They're committing to this. Trying to get some progress out. Dragon gets eaten by Sonic Chronic. Noon comes in and canceled. They do get Kath and breaks Emero's lamp as Fancy goes into the back line and finds 3.
Diva character. Ult's no longer really in the favor. I think the best thing they have, if they really want to, is use a tempo beat. But you might want to save that for their shatter if you don't think Kath is gonna block it.
And that was kind of tough that Charbotron got picked early there, right? They had that beat. Maybe that would have been a one-team fight for the, oh, window comes out, and the 3060 shattered by both! That's absolutely massive! Oh my god! Sin finds Invictus, Sonic Chronic finds the lamp, not gonna be able to find any more. Fancy finds Sin in the back line as the pin comes through by Nuttier, killing Kath. The tanks are now, they're just, everyone's all over the place. Nekos are now recollected, re-together, but right now it is a, up 6v4 right now for the Hawks, as the Nekos are gonna have to disengage a little bit.
They know this Hanzo's on high ground, so Sonic Rock should look to try and push it out if possible, or just look to, if they hear the dragon, to look for that. But Kath is just trying to go. He's ready.
Bomb comes out from Fancy. It could be big. Does get blocked. Nothing happens. But they're able to get this Diva and Cassie out of the way. Both dragons come out from both teams, as well as the Noon by Trey will find HV, but after HV finds 2 of his own. Window and bomb committed by
the bomb.
by the oh, and a huge flashbang, but the ammo by Witherin was huge. Shattered by Nutty finds Sonic, Chronic, and Trey. Will maybe be able to pick him up. He trades in. Rally from Raz should be enough healing to hopefully keep him up. But another huge shatter. Whalefish finding Nuttier in the shatter. But HV finds Charbotron in the backline, as well as the Diva mech, and Diva herself will soon fall. It's looking like it's gonna be good for the Nekos here, but they have late respawns.
There's a Noon from Invictus from the left side though. They're not gonna
Window
be
comes
looking
out
at
from
him.
Nitherin as well as Lamb. Invictus finds Whalefish, as well as Sin with his own, but it gets picked off by Witherin. Witherin finds Kath as well. And it looks like the Nikos maybe won't be. Yeah, HV finds that pick on Emeru as well as Charbotron there. As Sonic Chronic trying to stagger out, or trying to contest, but it looks like the Nekos will not be able to get all 3 points.
Pretty back and forth there, just third point things, you know. Like this third point can be really annoying to attack, you know. It's still very winnable for the Nekos though.
Yeah, we'll find out. This has definitely become a series. So I'm looking forward to what we see from attack here on the Hawks, because I mean I haven't really seen them. I have not seen their rush, I don't think. And while it was definitely good on defense, I think that the Nekos, when in team fights, I think looked a little bit stronger.
Ready for battle.
I do think it's just, and there's the defense man I talked about before. I do think it's a lot of it could just be ult usage a lot of the time. I feel like in some cases it's like a lot of ults are pressed by the Nekos, but not a lot gets done.
Yeah, I think that's I think you're right. I think the Nekos use a lot of ults in fights, and they might win, but they win kind of fast and with maybe a few more things than they needed, right? I think in particular with the Hawks, they're really good at ult management. They don't use too much, they don't use too little, and they really follow up on each other pretty well.
All right, for the start of this, I'm going to move to the Hawks VC and see how they come.
May now.
Hanzo, man.
Wall? Can we bait
Doesn't
wall?
they brawl?
Yeah.
Well, individually.
Okay, we're all in.
He's looking for it. There it is. Oh, we're
Can you
out.
snap on that?
Stay alive.
Yeah.
I tried to help you.
Yeah.
I didn't reload.
I thought we were kind of fucked with the wall, so I went for a hope and a
No,
prayer.
we live. Immort. Just die, you're down 2.
I'm taking a Rhine to
Play Big Fen?
Abduction.
regroup fast here.
Once again. And as you heard from those comms, you do have pretty good leadership from Invictus, Fancy, and Nutty are all working together with themselves for these calls. Do with that Reinhardt being picked last, they have to
early
give it
push. A lot of space given and respected. Kath wasn't there, so it's good that the Nekos do back off. The big wall onto Nutty here, and as the lamp is forced out, window comes through. Lamp match Blizzard to go in as well. Dragon from both teams clears up point. Fancy finds Kath. Whalefish finds Raz in the back. B will no longer be a viable option, and Whalefish finds 3. Fancy does find Enderman with the back line as Sin punches trade HV to death. Bomb committed by Fancy, looking for the remake, doesn't find anything. And that was a very
Not even
good,
close, baby.
Really good awareness by the Nekos there. They knew they were down Kath. They all instantly backed off. They didn't even try to contest point right when they get there. They knew they had time. Kath was almost there. They all come in, come together, and then win the team fight. Granted, it helps that Whalefish got 3, but you know. Good wall. Ult used by Invictus as well as window by Emero. They can't really peek it. Doesn't find anything. Whalefish with a huge headshot as well as the window fire strike on Raz. Kath goes in, he finds Invictus with a pin, and they're going. The Nekos are pressing W as they find Witherin chasing down Fancy. Team X him. Sonic Chronic gets the final punch, but... And once again, the Nekos here have ults with the one team fight, so kind of up to Nutty here to hit this big shatter in this next fight.
Oh no.
Or HV getting an early pick on Trey.
Hanzo. They still have ults here, but the shatter. Another shatter.
But Nutty's is just better. HV finds 2 off the back of Nutty's shatter, and the Hanzo gets pressured out by Fancy. Bomb comes in from Sonic Chronic, finds Witherin, but it's too late.
Just off the back of HV's random, not really random, I mean, it's a Hanzo moment, you know? I wasn't watching, I can't tell what happened there, but that's just a feels bad moment if you're the Nekos.
Yeah. The big counter shatter by Nutty there does end up to the rest of the squishies, not backline falling, as well as really good management by Fancy to really chase down them, make sure that Whalefish and Emero weren't able to get out and mayhaps do some Whalefish Emero things.
Oh, that wall's almost there. Fancy's still
Lamp is committed by Witherin. A big dragon comes up from HV. We'll find Kath and Sin after committing the Blizzard. Does freeze Withering, Fancy, and Nuttier, with Nuttier dying, but they're not. The Nekos aren't really able to take advantage of those ults there, as HV just able to find those picks whenever they turn around the corner, still getting these last-second picks. And now we're kind of seeing a repeat from the first round, but flopped, right? With
Oh, there's no way.
HV once again presses mouse 1.
See through the dragon's eyes.
And now if you're the Nekos, you're sweating a little bit.
I think your main thing is you just want to. I don't know if you really want to like try to win this fight. You just need to build ults.
Big counter pin by Nuttier. Cancel a big shatter. Bomb and Deadeye come out. Trey finds Invictus, but Fancy Bomb find both support players of the Nekos. Raz killing Kath in the front line. Sin finds Raz. There's Witherin last support player alive as Fancy finds Whalefish, but they end out killing the rest of the Nekos. And what a big bomb by Fancy there.
Lots of ults forced by the Nekos though from the Hawks, so that's still not too bad for them. But I don't know if you really want to commit your dragons there. Your beat I think was kind of needed. But it's gonna be kind of scary trying to push into this when you know they still have ults left. Another 360
Kath once
shatter.
again for another 360 shatter. Blocks Nuttiers though. Lamp is forced by Emero, as we'll see the window comes out from Witherin. Pulse Bomb comes out. Kath cut. Whalefish falls to Fancy's micro rockets, and Fancy's in the backline. Invictus, meanwhile, is doing his own battles, with HV being kind of pestered by Trey in this backline, but it's kind of tough. These are some late kills that you don't want to see when the card is so close. Oh, big Whalefish pick on Invictus. HV finally gets that Tracer out of his hair. Sonic Chronic back in mech. The tanks are there, as well as Window coming out by Emerald. It's definitely contestable for Nekos. Sonic Chronic puts out the bomb. Another big pick from Whalefish onto Fancy. As Nuttier misses the pin, Kath gets Raz. Whalefish again picks out Witherin, and now there's no supports for the Hawks.
Not even close, baby.
Absolutely massive by Whalefish there, as they let him get 4 of that fight. As Trey goes back to the Mei here.
Whalefish also back to the Hanzo, forfeiting that amazing ultimate known as the sights from Widow.
But it's okay because the Hawks don't have any ults. They used them all in that fight.
I mean,
or the ones they had.
Yeah, I mean, they basically, Hanzo's above 60%.
They basically
yes,
have
Dragons.
Hanzo.
All that shatter doesn't
yeah,
quite find anything. They do get their remake in time. Just fall very low, gotta be careful.
I'm looking at this dragon here. HV DMX Sonic Chronic, and Fancy finds that last kill. As Dragon comes out with the shatter, Lamp committed by Emero as we see. Oh no! Oh, as the Nekos don't touch point.
Unfortunate for them. That does mean that they are eliminated from the playoffs with the Hawks moving on.
Again, Nekos. I think it was a very close game. Again, if I were watching this from the outsider perspective, wait, he didn't eat that?
Nope.
Okay, I would have thought that got eaten. I would not have thought that was the number 1 and the number 8 seed respectively, right? I feel like the Nekos really showed up. They played really well, but with that said, the Hawks are our winners today.
And we do get to pick MVP though. And I think
you would have favored a little while ago. I may have already floated this out a little bit, but he's gone, so no.
I mean, we can still add him and force him elsewhere, you know.
Yeah, but Witherin boy, definitely my pick for the match MVP today.
Let's see if we can fish him out then. What is his? Wait, what's his Discord?
I don't know.
What's Witherin's Discord? Wait, which one is Witherin? There it is. Withering. Alright, we move to lounge, see if Withering can join us.
Hello.
Hello there, Withering. Congratulations on the match MVP.
I don't know how I got this.
I know how. Because you are a gamer, and your flex support is insane.
Thank you.
Especially on, what was it? Blue, yeah, I'm forgetting which map it was.
The Ana?
The Ana nades.
That was Dorado.
That was Dorado.
Even though you guys lost?
That was us. Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of good nades for opening kind of just negates the aggression of the Nekos were trying to put in on that map for a good part of it, and also just consistency, keeping your team alive the entirety of the game.
I honestly felt like I entered the law on that map, but I never find that.
Yeah, we didn't notice it. It's fine.
We all appreciate a little bit of honesty, or I mean I didn't see it, but again, even if not even looking at that map, your Baptiste in all of our maps today was absolutely insane. Your lamps were huge, really came in clutch. I mean, hey, I'm a Withering stock investor right now. All right, so big plays from you today, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys throughout the rest of playoffs and very strong contenders for finals.
Yeah, I have one question for you before we go into the final question, because next week you're gonna go up against the winners of the Quackers or Rainiers match. Which of those two teams would you rather go against if you know anything about them? Final question to you, Flambeau.
All right. So as per tradition, normally when we assign our match MVPs, if you did not earn the match MVP today, who do you think from your team should have gotten it or deserved it, if it couldn't have been you?
Honestly, I feel like everyone did fucking amazing. Fuck. Fancy was always popping off. HP always popping off. Chris always popping off. Fucking everyone.
All right, everyone.
Everyone live. I don't know who to specifically say. Everyone does so well on that team. I still Natty as well. Natty to Chad, right? I'm sorry if I missed anyone on my team.
Well, anyway, it's still good to hear. Good to know that your team's all in good hopes. Good luck future in the playoffs.
Yep.
All
Yes,
right.
thank you for joining.
And with that, we're gonna be starting to sign off. Continue. Maybe there should be a stream tomorrow for the next round. Believe it should be at least. Let me check what I wrote.
We should be seeing
Should be
the,
Axolotls versus the Gamer Syndicate at 8 p.m. CST
Yes.
or CDT or whatever. I don't care. But that should be very interesting. Should be prime time casted. Hope you see you there. And I've been your producer and caster for Lore Master, joined by Flammable Jambo. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a safe night.